I rarely sleep. I sleep very few hours. I don't enjoy sleep. You need to do something to get your mind off. For me, I run. I run marathons and half marathons. Seriously, man, all my friends are refugees like me who are depressed. Who's gonna pay me money to run? How do you cope with it?
I don't. I really don't. I tried all possible ways. Can't talk to your family about it because some of it is irrelevant to them, having not left the country.
For someone to tell me enjoy the moment, all I could think of is how oppressed I was growing up.
Yeah, it's really unbearable, and I don't think there's a way out for me personally. Maybe that's part of the depression, part of the anxiety, is that you are trapped. You don't even believe that there is a way out.
Many people have lots of stereotypes about refugees. That's why the best person to speak about refugee is a refugee themselves.
So we started to open up to each other about our struggles and issues that we tried to ignore when we first arrived in this country.
We hope you like it. We are very keen and enthusiastic to hear your feedback. Enjoy watching.
For mental health issues when it comes to refugees, there are three phases. Phase number one is pre-flight, which is things happening at home, whether they've seen a murder or they're running from war or prosecution, something extremely bad. Like some people have been tortured, put in prison, and running away from prosecution, extremists, whatever. So this is pre-flight. There's the flight, which doesn't necessarily mean when you take a flight, but actually the journey, which includes detention centers, camps, taking a boat, hiking. I've done my fair share of hiking and camping. That's flight. And there's the post-flight, where you're in the new society and then you're trying to learn the language, to settle down, to figure out the system.
Do you feel comfortable talking about your mental problems, disorders and anxiety and depression to, let's say, a friend or a therapist, or you don't feel comfortable at all, or a family member? How is it for you?
For me, it's really easy to talk about it because I think it's necessary to talk about it. And I feel very comfortable talking about it and addressing these problems. Some people need to see someone, and not a lot of psychologists speak Arabic in this country.
Not all psychologists, even if they speak the language, are good, so they need to be good and they need to understand you. On the contrary, I don't feel comfortable sharing. I can talk about it as a whole, as what I'm going through, the symptoms and the feelings and the struggle, but specifically mentioning it and talking where it comes from, I find it really difficult to talk it out. I did share a couple of things with some people, but it was moments when I was really low and really lonely, and it felt right to share it. However, it's not always the case for me. I really struggled talking it out.
I know you always bore me with these stories. And I feel like, man, you need to find someone to tell them these stories. Why telling me? I come from the same background. I have these problems.
Because you can relate, exactly. That's one point, because you can relate. If I tell you something,
I don't want to relate.
You don't tell me simply go and enjoy the moment.
Speaking of enjoying the moment, a lot of these issues come from a very oppressed background. For example, one of my friends was dating a girl. He always felt this pressure of proposing to her. He meets the girl, you know what, I can't get married to you. And then the girl says, but wait a second, I didn't ask you to get married. He says, yeah, but I have commitment issues. I know you want to get married, I can't give you that. So the girl, wait a second, let's just enjoy the moment. And he laughed at when she said, let's enjoy the moment. And when he was telling me this, I laughed so much, because for someone to tell me enjoy the moment, all I could think of is how oppressed I was growing up. when my school teacher, when I was like 7 years old, smacked my face 7 times for not doing the homework.
What would your depression look like if you believe that you don't see a point or belong to this world, and nothing in it interests you, nothing in it makes you want to go on or continue, or it's not really, basically it's not irrelevant, it's irrelevant to you with everything in it?
I can't really answer this question because I don't have this existential problem.
Well, I do.
So you tell me about it.
I started my philosophical journey and my religious journey, my existential journey. You start to question things and try to understand if it actually mean anything. I came up to the conclusion that I can't be bothered to do anything. I can't be bothered to wake up. I can't be bothered to speak with my friends. I can't be bothered to apply for a job. I can't be bothered to not apply for a job. I literally, I'm neutral, zero, just no interest, zero interest in everything. And that make everything unbearable, because on the one hand you have to go on and the society makes you feel that you have to, everyone's doing it, but you don't know why or where or when or for how long. So you graduate and you get a job, you get married, you have kids, and it's just never-ending pointless loop, in my opinion. To link it up with me being displaced out of my hometown, because that gave me a lot of food for thought, a lot of understanding. You meet different people, you meet different mindsets, and you try to adapt and understand, but you fail, and you keep trying and you keep failing, and you don't really have to succeed. That's the point. The society tells you that you have to succeed, you can make it, everyone makes it, all these famous stories, but in fact, in my opinion, I don't think you do have.
First of all, I need to say that I feel incredibly lucky that I'm here in England. I live in London. I have a job. Some people dream of getting a place at UCL. I teach at UCL.
Indeed,
it feels really good to say it.
Indeed.
Some people dream of getting a place at any university, and I've been teaching at 3 universities, 2 of them in London. I give speeches in many places. I've been to the parliament, I've been to a lot of places. I'm living in London. I met the love of my life in London. I feel incredibly lucky that I'm here. Having said that, a major problem that I have is that this is now my home, but my family is not here. I did not grow up here. My friends are not here. I see people come and go, and I'm still here. I was so lucky to do a master degree, to work and save some money to do a master degree. And then I did my master degree in here, and I saw people flying from a lot of different countries, international students, and go. And people think I'm an international student, but I'm not an international student. However, I'm not British, so I'm in between. So I see the British people going on Christmas, going back to see their family and friends and going to their villages and towns. I see international students going to Europe, of course, and taking pictures and selfies in Switzerland. Oh, that's so cute. And I'm like, I'm neither, and it's really difficult.
Can you live with the fact that you don't have a home, permanent home anome?
Well, this is my home. This is
You
now
found it
British.
home.
British, yeah. England is now my home. I'm going to become a British citizen soon. So when people are gonna ask me, so where are you from? I'm gonna tell them I'm a Londoner. I have a British passport.
Not even British, Londoner.
I'm a Londoner. I have a British passport. I don't speak my accent is not British.
Say Londoner, not Londoner.
I'm a Londoner. I don't have British accent.
Believe me if you can. I find my depression to be connected with really deep, meaningful, existential stuff that don't necessarily have an answer, and I'm stuck because on the one hand I know it doesn't have an answer or meaning, or it doesn't have to have, but on the other, I was born in a place where for 26 years of my life I was programmed that there is one. I tried different ways. I read about it, and some people say if you're depressed it might be because of your food diet, it might be because of your sleeping times. No, seriously, honestly.
Have a banana, avocado on toast in the morning, and sip some tea, really great tea.
My experience with anxiety is a little bit also extreme, because when I was back in Syria, once a rocket fell literally 5 meters away from my room. I could hear the glass break, the window, children scream, women shouting, and the men wondering, trying to understand what's happened. It really hit me, it really did. So a lot of times I feel anxious, for example, if I leave my bike aside for 5 minutes, that I might come back and not see it. I feel anxious about if I am studying, I'm not gonna pass. If we don't understand about our structure, our souls, if you want to call it, if we don't understand enough, it's really pointless to take all these depression pills and things, because the doctors will be trying on you and experimenting on you as if you're a rat.
I remember when I started talking to psychologists, they prescribed me some antidepressant, and I went to the drugstore to collect them, and the drugstore says, Abdul? I said, yeah. They said, these are for you. I said, yeah. I said, is this the first time you take these antidepressants? I said, yes. They said, you know, they're suicidal.
Are they?
Yes, side effects. I said,
Do I really want to
is
say?
it really wise to give a medicine that has side effects of suicidal to a Syrian refugee who's feeling depressed and
He probably wanted to get rid of you. For fuck's sake, come. There's
doctor's
no way
like-
nobody can solve your problems. You fucking depressed, you better die. Have you ever felt suicidal?
I remember the psychiatrist asked me this question. I said, I'm not courageous enough.
Can you encourage me a bit, please?
I need to hear some motivational speaker. Come on, you can do it. The thing that helped me the most is having a partner. My partner was extremely supportive, the love of my life.
What about the PTSD?
I get flashbacks, I get nightmares a lot, pretty much every night. One of the worst feelings, I see myself back in Syria having to take one of the exams at university, and I say to myself, what? I didn't graduate? All my friends have graduated, I'm still a student here? And hey, I'm a refugee in London. What brought me here? How can I go? And then I look out of the window and I see war and stuff and graphic materials and graphic shit. Usually when you wake up, you're disoriented. You don't know where you are. But I wake up, I look around, I'm in my room. It's like, oh my
Best
God,
room in the
this
world.
is awesome. That's maybe the reason why I rarely sleep. I sleep very few hours. I don't enjoy sleep. You need to do something to get your mind off. So I run marathons where you don't need to raise money. You just pay like 50 quid to run. But this is me.
I tried all possible ways, speaking with the family, and I tried. You can't talk to your family about it because some of it is irrelevant to them, having not left the country. I try to give myself hope. I try to do short-term projects to keep me motivated, but I fail. I really find it difficult to overcome depression mainly. I'm okay with being anxious all the time about everything. It's not the biggest in the world. But depression really gets me. We were brought up in a country which it doesn't exist. There's no meaning, there's no such a thing called mental health. And suddenly it's apparently a big share of my personality, my life, my experience and my thoughts.
Well, seeing a specialist does make a difference.
I
Go,
think
just
I
go to
should.
the NHS, it's free.
Yeah,
Go to
I
your
don't have an
GP.
address, man. I don't have a bloody address. I'm a refugee.
So I remember I was in this event invited by an artist who is very famous artist, and people there are like celebrities. I was talking to a British person in his 60s, and then he introduced me to his wife, and his wife came to say hi to me, and she said hi, like he said, this is Abdul, and then she gave me her hand. Give me your hand like this. And I did like this. I didn't know what to do. It's like a dog. What do you do? I felt extremely real. I was like, wow, look how far I've come. I come from a war-torn country to events where they serve food. I don't even know how to say it, even though I know how to pronounce all the tube stations in London.